Yo, what's going on, everybody? So the events of Boruto chapter 38 have become so dire and so over the top that we need to have a very serious discussion right now, which is whether or not Naruto Uzumaki needs to be replaced as Hokage. And I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that. Like, I know people don't want to hear that. Like, every time I've even done hypothetical videos saying who are the Hokage candidates, who could be the next Hokage, it just triggers people. And I totally get it, because if you've been a long-time Naruto fan, you've had years invested into the idea that Naruto goes through all his trials and tribulations to get his dream job of being Hokage, and then you find out, oh my god, his father was Hokage. How incredibly awesome! Like, you have so much invested in Naruto, and you've seen him oversee a time of peace. The idea that Naruto no longer becomes Hokage is something that people cannot stand. They can't fathom it. But I think that because of what happened in the last chapter, we gotta consider it. So if you're an anime only fan, okay, so if you're an anime only viewer, I'm going to tell you right now, it's in your best interest to click off this video, because I'm going to be talking about major spoilers for what happened in the latest Boruto manga chapter. And if you want to read the manga and do so in a way that supports the channel, I'll have links down in the description box for you guys to read the Boruto manga and help out the channel. And I'll say this, over 80% of the content on the channel is spoiler free. And if you're one of those very dedicated subscribers who says, well, I've seen all of the 200 videos that you've done on the channel, so if you fall into that category, I would say you can head over to Kryptonian Saiyan, which I've started the process of rebooting. I've been uploading more videos onto that channel, but if you head over to Kryptonian Saiyan, I have 150 of the 200 plus Naruto videos that I did when that channel was up and running and mainly focused as a Naruto and One Piece channel. I have over 200 videos on that channel, and I have 150 made public so you guys can watch those. Those are videos that you've not seen over on Naruto Explained. So with that being said, if you're still here, I'm gonna assume you are okay with any type of spoilers. So I definitely say we need to say that Naruto needs to be replaced, because look at it from this perspective. Naruto's been Hokage for a few years now, and because of that, because Naruto has almost a decade in the position, I think that he's been there long enough that the Hidden Leaf Village can stand a change in power. And the reason being is that while the 5 great nations are on good terms with each other, the Hokage is a position where the villagers look to you for importance. Like when I did my video about who the best Hokage is, I made the case to Tsunade because of what she was able to provide in terms of stability for the village, in terms of her being the granddaughter of the first Hokage, the student of the third Hokage who was taught by the second Hokage. The fact that Tsunade was able to serve as a bit of stability and a bit of a calming presence for the Hidden Leaf Village when they went through that trying time, Konoha now finds itself in a similar situation. Currently, where the Boruto manga is in the timeline, we are 3 years away from when Kawaki destroys Konoha and he fights against Boruto on top of the Hokage monument. And when you look at that, right? When you look at that, we don't know if Naruto gets unsealed. It's a very strong possibility. It's a very strong possibility that Naruto gets unsealed. But here's the other thing on that though, right? Like, we don't know if at that point Naruto is still in that same place that Jigen kept him trapped. And if that's the situation, Konoha is going to need to not only let their allies know, for the sake of keeping the Shinobi Alliance together, that the Hokage position has been filled with someone who is as equally qualified, but for the villagers, they need to know that while Naruto is not here in the moment, we have things under control. Now, you can make an equal argument that, okay, we just don't need to let the villagers know that, but I mean, someone's going to take notice of the fact that Naruto is not running around the village with 1,000 shadow clones doing all these different events. You could have someone like Konohamaru, who has a decent amount of chakra, use a few shadow clones and transformation jutsu in order to pretend to be Naruto, but eventually that's going to run its course. Now, the other thing on this is, I think that this could also be an opportunity for us to start looking at who the Hokage candidates are. Like, if you have a situation where if all of a sudden Sakura doesn't take the position, or Shikamaru for whatever reason doesn't take it because he sees it as being too much work, you could have a situation where Kakashi Hatake once again takes up the mantle of 6th Hokage. Now, if you go back a few months, Ikimoto or Kodachi, whichever one it was, they stated that we were gonna get a situation where Kakashi will play a major role in the Boruto manga coming forward. And when it comes to these mangaka comments, now I'm thinking about this Ikimoto, but when it comes to these mangaka comments, they're usually off a little bit. Like Kishimoto was saying as far back as like 2010 that the year of Kakashi was coming, and we didn't get the year of Kakashi till like 2012 or 2013. And so obviously that could mean that Kakashi's role is coming maybe sometime next year, but given the fact that Naruto's been sealed away, if you have the previous Hokage step back in, Kakashi, someone who's known as Kakashi as the Sharingan, someone who oversaw the Hidden Leaf Village through one of its most trying times in recent era, where the moon's falling and all these meteors are coming crashing down, Kakashi, with the help of Tsunade, was able to get a lot of those villagers out of Konoha. And even though parts of the village were destroyed by the falling debris, all of a sudden Kakashi was able to see through that reconstruction, and Kakashi played a huge role in guiding Konoha into a position where it is now, where technologically they've grown to the point where they're at. So I definitely think that Kakashi would be a great option to step in and replace Naruto's Hokage. And you know, just to piggyback on that, I mean, it will once again take us back to what Ikimoto talked about, and also it would give us a great opportunity to have Kakashi go through some reflecting. It'd give us an opportunity for Kakashi, someone who initially didn't want to become Hokage, and I've talked about this in a few other videos, but the fact that Kakashi didn't initially want to be Hokage, all of a sudden is thrust back into that position. He's taken out of retirement and put back in that position. The Kakashi Retsuden novels shows us that Kakashi's love for his student, for Naruto, runs very deep. The fact that Kakashi was able to essentially allow himself to be dragged into a coup d'etat, all because it would give him answers, to find answers for what Naruto's mystery illness was and to come up with a cure for it. The fact that Kakashi is in a position like that, it should at least tell you that when it comes to the idea of holding down the Hokage position until Naruto's able to come back, Kakashi will essentially be a placeholder, the same way he was a placeholder between the end of the 4th Great Ninja War and when Naruto finally became Hokage a few years before Boruto went into the academy. So I mean, I think this is a good idea. I really think this is a good idea, and most importantly, like, Naruto has been once again revealed to, while he is powerful, to be an idiot. Now in the chapter, Jigen says, okay, the QB sealed inside of you is smart enough to think for the both of you. The chapter before that, we saw Naruto all of a sudden deferring to Sasuke when it comes to intelligence. Now Kakashi is smart as a whip. Add that with the fact that he has a much smarter version of Shikamaru there to assist him, all of a sudden Kakashi could lead the village through what is essentially a crisis period and help them start preparing for how to take down Jigen and start coming up with countermeasures for the Kara organization. I think this would be really, really good for Kakashi's character. But I want to know from you guys, now that Naruto's been sealed away, do you think that Konoha needs to go ahead and have a replacement for Naruto, or do you think that Naruto is going to find a way to get himself out of Jigen's dimension? Maybe Sasuke goes back and gets him. I want to know from you guys, what do you think is the best idea? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video, guys, and as always, have an awesome day.